Matt Bernie here taking a look at stakes action from Belmont Park Saturday afternoon. 2-year-old fillies going 6 furlongs in the main track. New York breds, the $100,000 Lynbrook Stakes. Before we dive into the field, I'd encourage you to head on over to drf.com/bet. Get all the latest as far as offers and details are concerned for a new DRF Bets account. Again, drf.com/bet is the address. Let's take a look at the field of 9 2-year-old fillies, New York breds, that will go the 3/4 distance on the main track. Really, this race boils down to a couple different things. You've got horses that are proven that have already gone out in the afternoon as far as racing is concerned. Then you get some interesting first-time starters that make a little bit of sense in here as well. Let's just go right through in post-position order and take them one by one. The number one is Midnight's All Right, going out for Jason Service. We have a positive formulator fact for this filly. It's 2-year-old by Midnight Loop. Past 5 years, first-time blinker, second-time starter. 3 for 9, 7 in the money with a 230 ROI. Now again, Jason Service's barn is rolling along right now, so although her career debut down at Monmouth, I wasn't all that impressed with. I thought she was just mid-pack evenly throughout. She finished with some interest and galloped out pretty well, but she's going to need to do a little bit better as far as speed figure is concerned, as well as just overall running style. It is worth noting, though, she didn't have a lot of pace to run at in that career debut, so maybe you want to give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm not in love with her, but I think she makes a little bit of sense in a spot like this. The number 2 is Icy Lady, going out from Michael Gorham. This is a horse coming up from Delaware. She debuted on the 4th of July, and you know what? She looked pretty good, all things considered. She rolled up mid-pack. She was looming, took over. My big concern, she never changed leads at any point, and now she's going to be facing much better company, you would assume, because some of these first-time starters look like they could be something, and then a couple of the horses that have already run, they look pretty darn good as well. You get Javier aboard, though. Icy Lady, going to be a pretty middling price in a spot like this. I don't love her, but I can understand some positives for her. She's a half to AJ's Mojo, who was 3 for 19 overall, 2 for 11 going in a dirt route. So you have a little bit of distance where you don't think that this is going to be any sort of an issue. And it's nice to know that she already has won at 5.5. Now we have to go out just an extra half furlong on Sunday afternoon. One of the maidens in this spot, one of the first-time starters in this spot, is Maiden Beauty, the number 3 horse going out for Gary Contessa. Pedigree-wise, not a heck of a lot there. The Revolutionary Babies, they're just starting to get onto the racetrack, so you don't have much as far as the sample size is concerned. You have a negative formulator fact, though, for Gary Contessa, and we can take a look at that. Past year, first-time starters, 0 for 34 and only 8 in the money. I suppose it is a positive that you get Joel Rosario named here, but I have to be honest. This is going to be one of those instances, whether it is facing the horses that have the experience or the other first-time starters that look like they've got a little bit of ability, whether it's from pedigree or trainer stats. Maiden Beauty is one that I'm going to sit back and wait and see what we get, and maybe you'll be looking at a second-time go-out where maybe you can play this one, possibly up at Saratoga. Number 4, Sanders Empire is another first-time starter. This one goes out for Edmund Pringle. This is an interesting sort of pedigree. Soaring Empire is only 1 for 12 with the 2-year-old first-time starters. The Dam was 1 for 22 overall, so there's not a lot there as far as the immediate success, but the Dam is a sibling to Flip Cup, and we know Flip Cup, she's a New York bred that did some good things going longer on the turf. You see the Empire maker and part of that pedigree on the top with Soaring Empire. There's a part of me that wonders if ultimately you see the Freud on the bottom. Maybe this is a horse you don't really want to necessarily get all jacked up about right now, but maybe down the road going a little bit longer on turf, this could be a useful one. Sanders Empire is the number 4 horse. The number 5 horse is Native Dawn. Native Dawn, we have a positive formulator fact from Mark Cassie. Over the past year, maiden winner last out, second-time starter, non-graded stakes races. 3 for 9, 5 in the money with a 288 ROI. This horse broke her maiden impressively in the career debut. She's a daughter of Morning Line. The Dam, I'm a native New Yorker. She went 4 for 19 in dirt sprints, so you have some positive things there. I thought she moved well throughout, and she drew off and won for fun. I wasn't blown away by it, and you can also kind of note that based on the timing, look at the speed figure. They didn't stop the clock in anything ballistic. 39 for the Beyer speed figure in the career debut. I thought it was an inoffensive debut. She is one of the horses that makes some sense in here simply because she has gone out and she's proven herself in the afternoon. But at the end of the day, I think she is going to need to significantly step her game up here if she's going to be successful on Sunday afternoon. The number 6 horse is Princess Pinky. Now, Princess Pinky, Native Dawn, and She's Trouble. They were the 1, 2, 3 finishers of that race back on June the 14th. She was no match for the winner that day, Native Dawn, who we just spoke about. But at least she has a little bit of speed in here, and it is worth noting as far as pedigree is concerned, the Dam is a sibling to Silent Bird, who was a graded stakes winner out in Southern California. Princess Pinky, I suppose maybe you get a forward move in the second lifetime start, has that little bit of early speed. Johnny V retains the mount from Michelle Nevin. I needed to see a little bit more to be enticed to use her in a spot like this. The number 7, She's Trouble. Now, She's Trouble, the interesting thing with her, she did not get out of the gate basically at all. You see the short comment, she dwelt. But she did come on with some interest at the end for Linda Rice. The dam, she was stakes placed. You see they paid $125,000 for this horse. I think she might be okay. She went off as the 6-5 favorite that day, 7-5, excuse me, when they debuted. So perhaps now if we can get her out of the gate in a little bit better order, you're going to get a forward move. I wouldn't be surprised if you got a better effort this time around. I don't love a 2-year-old that I don't know for sure that they have any sort of real speed. Obviously, she's not that slow out of the gate, but the problem is until they prove that they can get out of the gate, and then also once they do they have any sort of tactical speed? Until I get any of that, I'm going to just sit back and say, you know what, I'll wait and watch and see what we can get. But I wouldn't be surprised if you got a better effort from this filly in her second lifetime start. The number 8 is Toss Up. Now, Toss Up is one of the first-time starters I'm most interested in. I'm picking her second in a spot like this. Joe Bravo has the mount for Rick Violet. We know Rick Violet has done a good job with first-time starters throughout the years. And when you look at the pedigree for this mare, filly at this point, Pioneer of the Nile, say that 5 times fast, is her sire. 13% with the 2-year-old first-time starter, so you've got some good positive things there. And the Dam Sprightly, she was a grade 1 stakes-placed mare, and she was also a stakes winner multiple times over. So there is pedigree there to suggest that this horse could be a runner owned by Ralph Evans. I think Toss Up is one of the more interesting runners in a spot like this. She's going to be bet in here, though, because of the connections. First-time starters being bet, I think you have to take a look at the tote board. Let the tote be your guide for a race like this. I'm going to use her, but like I said, I'm going to pick her second in a spot like this. And I'm going to pick her second in a spot like this because I'm going to go with the outside runner. I like the number 9 in here, Positively Jean. Now, Positively Jean debuted for Danny Gargan back on June the 29th. That was in a turf race going 6 furlongs over good going. You see the Dam, she was 1 for 3 as a 2-year-old, and she was 2 for 14 overall. The midshipmen's there, hit or miss depending on what they do. To me, I looked at this horse, and I know it was on turf, but I at least like the way that she moves. She has the highest last out buyer in the field with a 54, and there is no guarantee that she'll be able to transition from the turf to the dirt. But you have a good sort of situation as far as the connections are concerned. Gargan usually does very well moving horses from the grass over to the main track, and I'm not convinced with some of the horses that we have seen already that they're all that good. I think Positively Jean could be a useful sort down the road. I think she's going to ultimately be a turf horse, but why not try to get some sort of a stakes, at least a placing, if not an outright victory, under her belt before you even get up to a race like Saratoga, a race meeting like Saratoga next week. So I think Positively Jean, to me, she's one of the more likely winners in here, even though she has never set foot on the main track in the afternoon. I like that she showed some early speed, and I know the fractions were a little bit light there, but she finished really well. I like the way that she leveled off. She's also a sibling to a horse called Lord Baltimore, who was 5 for 45 overall and almost earned $100,000. So for me, in the 7th race at Belmont Park on Sunday afternoon, the Lynbrook Stakes for New York bred fillies going 6 furlongs on the main track, I'm going to go 9-8 in here. The number 9, Positively Jean, will be my pick. If you are playing the Lynbrook or any of the other races from Belmont Park, getting ready. Saratoga is legitimately starting next week. So we're at the very end here. You're going to want to sign up for a new DRF Bets account. DRF.com/bet is the address. You can get all the details and all the latest offers from DRF Bets. Again, DRF.com/bet is the address. Scheduled post time for race number 7 Sunday afternoon out at beautiful Belmont Park. The Lynbrook Stakes for fillies, state bred, is 4:46 Eastern. Best of luck.